how we feeling?
Word.
Yeah, man, grateful, man, grateful. Grateful to be here with all you guys. Thank you guys for showing love. Appreciate y'all.
What's that?
You always got my back. I love you.
What'd you think of this fight? What's your reaction of it?
Man, let me tell you, Shakur moved so well. He won every round, and he was just a step ahead with quickness and just with, just the plan himself. Great plan coming in, and he did well. Congratulations to him.
Man, he better leave that alone.
What did you think of Shakur's performance?
He did what he had to do, man. There's always room for improvement. I think he had a lot of stuff he could have did, but he's so talented and gifted, man. You also got to trust what he's seeing in there. We on the outside,
Connor, what was that about right there? What was Shakur saying to you in there?
If he wants it, he can get it next.
Right.
Ultimately, I ain't scared or worried about him.
Well, what did you think? What did you think of his performance?
Yeah, no, it was a great performance. He performed really well. But ultimately, I ain't worried about him.
Right, appreciate your time.
Madison Square Garden felt alive, like it knew history was about to be rewritten. When the bell rang, Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez didn't just fight, they staged a live chess match with consequences. This wasn't chaos. This was calculation colliding with power.
Edward, that performance from Shakur tonight just
made Teofimo look like a novice. I mean, that's how good he is. 120, 109, 108, I mean, just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Is that what you expected from Shakur? No?
I mean, listen, I expected an incredible performance, but I didn't expect it to be completely one-sided. I mean, he won every round, in my opinion. Like the golfing levels was phenomenal. And I said to Bud, like, going into 12, he could do 40 rounds, Shakur.
Now we got the main event with Shakur, and I knew that was gonna happen. Everybody be talking all that rah to me. I know boxing, and like I told y'all, we was gonna see a little bit of athleticism, but we was gonna see Shakur be using his jab, going to the body. And we saw blood today. Shakur did great today. Only thing I can ask for is stoppage. I can't ask for nothing else.
Amazing fight. Teofimo is my guy, but I've always been a fan of Shakur, and I think that Shakur put on a clinic tonight. Least amount of risk. Been able to put his skill set into fruition all night. The jab was leading. You can tell the difference in skill set.
Shakur came out cold and surgical. That southpaw jab wasn't just touching Teofimo, it was mapping him. Drawing lines, setting traps, sliding off at angles, making Teo punch just enough air to build frustration round
Won
by
all the rounds?
round.
Is that what you're saying? He won all 12 rounds?
Well, maybe he lost one, but he won the majority of rounds.
At what time did you realize that this was just going to be Shakur taking over the whole fight?
After the fourth round?
After the fourth round?
Yeah.
Thoughts on this fight?
Easy work. My brother Shakur spanked his 12 rounds like I told him he would. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of my brother, man. He did his thing, man.
What stood out the most for Shakur right now?
Say it again?
What stood out the most for Shakur?
Huh?
What stood out the most for Shakur tonight versus Teofimo?
Wait, what you said?
What stood out the most?
Oh, boy. I already knew he was going to box him. Like, he was going to box him out. Easy work. You know?
Like, never out of control, footwork, timing, shot selection. I actually think he could have stopped Teofimo if he'd have stepped on him. Teofimo looked like frustrated, just obviously busted up to the face. He's a phenomenal fighter, 4-division world champion.
Teofimo, it seems like he couldn't just get it going. Like he just tried differently going up and down. The counters were getting him.
Yeah.
What could he done differently tonight?
I don't know, it's difficult to box against a great mover like that. And, he tried, definitely tried. His dad was emotional, he wanted him to do better, but, this is boxing.
But Teofimo refused to be a passive piece on the board. He exploded in bursts, switched rhythms mid-round, darted in with sharp combinations, then stepped off at awkward angles that forced Shakur to hesitate just for a heartbeat. And at this level, half seconds matter.
But I think he put on a tremendous performance, and obviously, the level he's at, you always look for things he could do better,
What did you see from the outside that he made?
I mean, I'm just saying, I think it was a lot of body work and stuff like that. He could have touched on, but again, he's in there, so he's seeing stuff, he's feeling the punches. We not, so you got to trust what he's seeing.
Teofimo just couldn't get
He
going.
put on a what he trying to get going? He just wasn't allowed to.
Teofimo, it seems like he couldn't just get it going. Like he just tried differently going up and down. The counters were getting him.
Yeah.
What could he done differently tonight?
I don't know. You know, it's difficult to box against a great mover like that. And, you know, he tried. He definitely tried. His dad was emotional. You know, he wanted him to do better, but, you know, this is boxing.
Yeah, I definitely did. I feel like he's a fighter, so he tried to fight back. But, yeah, I picked him apart. In the second round, I want to say that I told my corner, I said, I'm stronger than he is.
There were stretches where Shakur glided, pivoting, painting Teo with clean shots, making it look effortless. Then suddenly Teofimo flipped the script, bullying him to the ropes, landing heavy hooks, making momentum feel like it was swinging in real time. Those await moments where narratives shift, Twitter drafts get deleted, and analysts start sweating.
Best opponent. Any disappointment that you didn't stop him because you said even during the fight you wanted to stop him?
No, it's no disappointment. It's boxing at the end of the day. I seen him go out there, and when I was about to stop him, he started fighting back a little bit. So, respect to him. He's a sharp fighter. He got a lot of knowledge, and he did what he did to survive.
And that was the difference to me that made the fight. It wasn't about grit. It wasn't about heart. It was about sheer talent. And Shakur displayed that tonight. So.
What you think about, obviously, Teo's eye? He never seemed to be able to get into it at all. Is that kind of like the experience you had?
Or he won a round or two, maybe, but that's it. Shakur too dominant. He was able to hit him clean first round, able to avoid shots. Shakur just on his A game. He's sharper, he's stronger, he's better, and now he's a 4-division world champion. I'm so proud.
By the championship rounds, it was will versus precision. Shakur stayed composed, calculating, picking spots. Teofimo dug deep, pressing, throwing with bad intentions, refusing to let the fight slip away quietly. Neither faded. Neither broke. They just kept adjusting until the final bell felt like a release for the entire arena.
You know, I thought, that we could take risks and do more and whatnot, and as the fight went on, it seemed like it just got better. You know, we was hoping that the pace would, kind of kick in with him and slow him down, but I think it did to a point. But I think, his overall performance, he did well. Like I said, we give a lot of respect to him. He was a formidable opponent, and Shakur just came with the game plan and just outscored him. We want to get ahead on the scorecard.
When it ended, both fighters stood there breathing heavy, faces marked, knowing they delivered something that wouldn't settle debates, it would start them. Some fans saw a technical masterpiece. Others saw raw ambition almost bending the blueprint. Everyone agreed on one thing: this was bigger than a win or a loss.
I think you was really going to beat him up that way.
Yes. I've been told you this. I told you this a minute ago. I said he's not on my level, and I proved it tonight. And shout out to you, bro. You're a hell of a fighter. I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you went there and did what you were supposed to do. You dig deep and you did.
Then Terence Crawford spoke with that calm, surgical champion energy. And when Bud talks, you listen, because he's not watching, he's decoding. He loved how Shakur controlled distance early, saying those first rounds looked like a masterclass in range management while Teofimo tried to skip straight to the boss fight.
Reaction to how he performed tonight? Marvelous. Funny thing I didn't like, that he was standing on the ropes too long.
Now, when I saw him on the ropes, I thought he was downloading what Zepeda was doing. It seemed like he was slipping punches and not really taking shots. What did you think?
He was, but at the same time, he was getting hit with little shots that he shouldn't have been getting hit with. And it looked good to the judges, especially keeping somebody on the ropes and, hitting them with the little shots, pressuring them.
But Crawford also pointed out Teofimo's mid-round adjustments, how he started timing Shakur's exits, sneaking counters into half-second windows. That's where the fight shifted from a clinic into a duel. He highlighted the body work too, calling it the invisible damage that changed the tempo as both fighters slowed just enough for things to get dangerous.
He did, but do you think that's a mistake? Should he continue to fight this way? It's more exciting, but he didn't have to take as much punishment, by his own words.
He didn't have to, but a lot of that, you got to give credit to him. He wasn't letting them do what he wanted in there. He wasn't letting them just box his way through the fight, so, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Bud's best insight? Neither man fought scared. They fought smart in different languages. Shakur spoke in calculations. Teofimo spoke in momentum. He praised Shakur's late-round composure as champion discipline, while warning that Teofimo's pressure is why athletic wildcards terrify elite fighters.
Right, for them to lose their title and move up and beat that guy. And Teofimo's done. He's a special guy. He's able to be his best when he needs to be his best. When the lights are brightest, he is at his best. And it's been this way throughout his career. And even in the one loss to Kambosos, he had a condition that could have killed him. He kept himself off the canvas. He rallies late, scores a knockdown.
Crawford didn't pick a winner. He said both proved they belong in the highest conversations. No hype. No bias. Just respect. Very Bud.
As a Lomachenko rematch, he could do a Kambosos rematch just to do it, right? You could put him with Haney, because Haney's moving up. He's the undisputed favorite. I have to think about it. Devin Haney.
Don't put you on the spot, man.
Devin, who would I favor? Who do I think would be favored in that fight?
Haney or Lopez, yeah.
That's a great.
Max Kellerman followed, sounding like a man who just watched a thesis defense inside a boxing ring. He framed it perfectly: mathematics versus momentum. Shakur solving equations in real time while Teofimo kept trying to rip the notebook in half.
It's just so good, honestly, and it was a very exciting performance. I mean, he threw a lot of punches. When you're up that close, like I'm sitting there, Shakur's there, when you watch him in the corner, I always say to fighters, eyes wide open, like as in just to see everything, and he sees everything. He's so good, and he's amazing to watch. I felt very privileged to be able to watch.
Max praised Shakur's economy, how every movement had purpose, how he stole inches, seconds, and confidence. Then he flipped to Teofimo, calling him the chaos variable, the glitch that kept puncturing logic with explosive bursts.
Floyd comparisons?
Do you know what? I don't think I ever watched Floyd live. But yeah, I mean, the comparison is the comfort that he has under pressure. You know what I'm saying? So like, he'll be like this, you know, pop, pop, and then he'll boom, stab to the body. Like, and a boom, like, and it's just like, I thought it was a very exciting performance.
Are you going to have talks with him about what's next? What is next for him?
Well, obviously, you know, that was his contract with us, 2 fights. We'd love to keep him on board, but we've got to deliver for him and we've got to come up with something.
Bill Haney came in like he was half commentator, half philosopher, half devil's advocate. Yeah, that's 3 halves, but that's exactly the energy. He started by saying the fight was a masterclass in what boxing actually is, versus what Twitter thinks boxing is, and then immediately pivoted into a mini rant about how fans only respect chaos but forget the art. Bill kept circling back to Shakur's composure, saying stuff like, "That's grown man boxing, that's chess while everyone else is playing checkers." But then in the same breath, he was hyping Teo's bursts like, "You can't coach that electricity, that's God-given fireworks." He threw in a hot take that had me laughing. If Teo fought like every round was round 2, nobody beats him. If Shakur fought like every round was round 10, nobody touches him. That's such a Haney-style paradox, but it actually hits.
He went deeper, saying both fighters were winning and losing at the same time. Shakur controlled geography. Teofimo controlled emotional spikes. He loved the late-round tension, 2 fighters recalculating like chess players realizing the board is on fire. His line said it all: this fight didn't give us an answer. It gave us a better question.
It's a great night of boxing. You know, what can you say? Teofimo, the takeover is back.
Was you surprised by how good Teofimo looked in there tonight?
No, man, listen. I knew what he could do. I followed those guys from the amateurs. Big fan of him. He's a slick boxer. He showed that he can box, and he showed that he has the power, and he was really important.
Eddie Hearn came next, promoter brain fully activated. He called it a commercial and technical masterpiece, elite boxing and elite business in one night. He praised Shakur's long-term dominance traits: composure, distance control, punch economy. Then labeled Teofimo box office chaos, every explosion waking the arena like a concert crowd.
I know I don't want to keep it for too long, but just walk me through the fight. What impressed you the most about watching Teofimo?
I have to see it again, but obviously he showed that he's a boxer and he's a puncher, and that's what I know Teofimo to be.
He never called out your son post-fight. Surprised?
definitely not surprised, but I'm not
Hearn joked this was a dream problem. One guy gives you history. The other gives you highlights. Both give you rematches. He said Teofimo tried to force moments while Shakur tried to erase them. And with a smile, hinted this fight wrote 5 future posters in one night.
Sure, can I get your thoughts on the fight, man? How did Teo look, man?
Man, Teo, man, 9-3, 8-4 at worst. He looked great. It looked like he caught his rhythm right around that 5th round, 6th round. You can see the confidence just start to pour in. The best part about it was this was elite against elite. One guy was better than the other one.
Bill Haney came in with peak Bill Haney energy, half coach, half philosopher, half provocateur. He called it a masterclass in what boxing actually is versus what social media thinks it is. He praised Shakur's composure as grown man boxing, while hyping Teofimo's electricity as something you can't coach. Then he dropped the paradox: if Teofimo fought every round like round 2, nobody beats him. If Shakur fought every round like round 10, nobody touches him. He talked legacy, saying this fight didn't close debates, it opened 10 at once. Sean Porter wrapped it perfectly. He said it felt like 2 languages spoken at once, geometry versus thunderstorms. Shakur calm like a surgeon. Teofimo chaos that refuses to read the manual. His line hit hardest: Shakur didn't win the crowd. Teofimo didn't win the silence. And boxing won everything in between.
What do you think he should fight next, man?
This was, even though this was a great fight for him, a great performance, I could still see some kinks in the armor, you know what I mean? Just looked like his stamina wasn't quite there. It looked like he didn't really have a pace, you know what I mean? It's like he was more reactive. And that's what he told me his dad wanted him to be in this fight anyway, get back to his old self, explosive counterpunching, you know?
So when you zoom out, this wasn't a fight. It was a boxing thesis written in real time. Shakur brought the blueprint. Teofimo brought volatility. Crawford saw adjustments. Kellerman saw math versus momentum. Hearn saw a franchise. Haney saw philosophy. Porter saw controlled chaos. All of them were right. That's how you know a fight mattered. Drop your thoughts below. Who really controlled this fight? Who made the bigger statement? And what happens in the rematch? Like, share, subscribe to Boxing Headquarters, and we'll see you in the next one.